All right, guys, welcome back to Do Ranch DIY. My name is Jake, and I got Chris over here, so you can hear he's introducing himself now. Sun's kind of in my eyes, even though the sun's not out. It's pretty cloudy, but we have a big dead ash tree behind us. Twin leader, as you can see, we already got a rope up in it. It's attached to Chris's truck here. We're gonna drop them into the front yard, and then in a couple days we're gonna come back with the chipper and we're gonna chip this stuff up, as well as I think 2 or 3 other trees. They're down along the driveway right here that are also dead. Homeowner is keeping all the wood. We just gotta chip up all of the debris, and he's actually keeping the chips too. So fairly simple job. Should be pretty quick and easy. What do you got to say?
That's it, let's get to it.
All right, let's do it. All right, guys, so as you can see, that worked pretty well. Chris, you want to explain what you did there as far as the hinge and holding wood?
Yeah, so I made a nice box. I probably should have made it a little wider so it had more opportunity to fall before it snapped. But you line up the back cut and just slowly and gradually make sure that hinge is nice and even. If you wanted it to fall a little more to one side or the other, you kind of adjust that portion.
Leave a little bit more holding wood.
But because we had the truck pulling, I left quite a big hinge. It was probably like 2 to 3 inches wide. That way the truck did most of the work, and didn't have to be right underneath the tree as it was coming down.
Yeah, that makes sense. So here, let me show you guys. Walk this way. As you can see, this thing just shattered into a million pieces. But let's see how the hinge looks. You had to make it up quite high, but as you can see here, it's nice and even as far as width goes, and this was all the holding wood. So because we had the truck, Chris was able to make his notch, which, as he said, probably could have been a little bit taller or wider, you know, to allow the tree to bend over and fall more before it breaks free. But hinge looks pretty good. It definitely tore out, lots of holding wood, which is what we'd rather have, all that extra holding wood than have no control over the tree at all. So now, as you can see, he just threw in throw ball to get the line set in this other one, and we'll bring this one down too. All right, guys, so while Chris is making the box on the tree here, I'm gonna show you the knot we use to tie it to the back of the truck. It's called a bowline on a bight. You essentially double your rope over on itself, make yourself a loop, take the doubled over end, pull it through, go around, and then back through. And as you can see, that's a bowline, but it's on a bight. It's biting itself. And now you can either tie this to the back of a truck, have 2 handles for guys to pull. In this case, since we're gonna be putting it to the back of the truck, I'm gonna loosen up this top bridge part here. and I'm gonna be throwing in this stick. And that's purely so that when the truck is pulling against the tree, it doesn't cinch down and tighten up on itself so much that we can't get the knot undone. So it's a really handy knot. And now we'll just take this and I'm gonna put it on the pintle here, pull the pin, shut it, and we're good to go.
All right, guys, so I figured I'd show you what we're talking about with that wider notch. Instead of this being this big, you know, the tree is gonna wanna come and come and come. Instead of breaking off right here, it's got another 2 inches that it can come down before it snaps. Usually allows for the tree to come down much smoother and right where you want it to go.
All right, guys, so as you can see, they're both right on top of each other. Chris laid them out perfectly. Got the stump left. No more dead trees. Now, I'm gonna come over here and show you guys how to undo the bowline on a bight, because it can be a little bit tricky. All right, guys, so here's the bowline on a bight. Just took it off the pintle hitch. I'm gonna slide out my stick. It's nice and loose because that was in there. Now, this tail end, you can pull it a little bit, and you're literally gonna bring it around the whole knot, and then it just comes apart, just like that. Voila, bowline on a bight. Super easy to tie, super quick, and it makes a great handhold. And it's just as easy to get it undone. Bowline on a bight. Okay, so that's gonna be it for today. We will be back, today is Monday, we'll probably be back on Friday, depending on the weather, with the Moorbark 16-inch chipper with the winch and everything. And we will buck it up into pretty big pieces, winch them in, just using the chipper's winch, and then we'll cut them as needed, right?
Yeah, that's the plan. Just gotta make one relief cut to get our rope out, and we should be good to go.
We'll hit the road.
Yeah.
All right.
The notch on the second one, I made it a little bit more open face.
A little bit more open? All right, it's here. So it looks pretty good. You can see all the holding wood there sticking up. Yeah, so as you can see, the notch on this one, he flushed it, but if you remember, it was flat. This one is more open faced, meaning that the bottom cut was tapered going up on an angle, and the top cut was going down on an angle. So essentially, when you're felling a tree and his back cut was perfect, just about like 1.5 inches, 2 inches higher than his hinge, or than where his face cut, you know, was, his wedge, his pie cut, whatever you want to call it. But when a tree falls like this, it really doesn't break free, and all this holding wood doesn't break free until the top of your notch hits the bottom of your notch. So the more severe of an angle and more open-faced that your notch is, the more control you have over felling the tree. So in this case, it kind of snapped and popped once the tree hit the bottom part of the notch. On this one, it went over a little bit more gradually, and it held on. You can even see this wood is bent because it held on for so long. We had a little bit more control, or Chris had a little bit more control over when the tree was gonna pop free, which is ultimately safer for him as the feller. So really good, both really good notches, lots of good holding wood on the hinge, and all in all, successful, quick little afternoon. Little change of plans. We're gonna take down 3 more. Initially, we were just gonna do the 2 ashes, but we got this maple with the dead top in it right here, this dead hickory right next to it, and then this 3rd maple that still has some life to it, but not much. What's the plan, Chris?
So this maple with all the vines in front of the hickory, we're gonna drop first. We're gonna send it right across the yard, across the driveway, and then work our way down to the hickory, and then this maple with the dead top, and cut it enough so that we can pull the wood off of the driveway. That way they can access the machine in the car, and we'll be back with the chipper.
Come back later this week, chip everything up. So I guess today turned into, from a little quick, drop 2 trees, we'll drop 5 trees, and we'll show you how we fell some trees here. So enjoy. See if Chris can hit it with the throw ball on the first shot. Probably can't see it on camera, but he did get it through a crotch. You happy with that one?
I would rather the one higher, but
I don't know if you guys can see that. See the ball up there? So we throw that throw ball up into the crotch. He's gonna try and get that next higher one right. Where's my finger?
just to give us a little
He's gonna try and get that one just for a little bit more leverage, as he said. But basically, there's a couple different ways to throw it. You can throw it 2 hands, 1 hand. You can use an air cannon, but slingshot, we do it the old-fashioned way. Oh, just missed. Move in a couple of the logs out of the way here. Beautiful. Another one bites the dust. Perfect drop by Chris yet again. Got one more. This really sorry looking maple with a big hanger broken up at the top. It's really trying to push out some growth at the bottom there, but it's gonna meet its match today. The MS 362. We're gonna get a rope up in there and let her fly. All right, guys, Chris just opened up the driveway so that he can get back there. Got the trees down. We will be back to do some chipping.
Oh yeah,
later this week.
Ready.
All right, guys, that's gonna be it for this one. Hope you enjoyed. We got all 5 trees down on the ground. Well, Chris did. I just helped pull.
That's all I needed you for. I needed the weight.
Good job, buddy. Guys, if you like this stuff, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. If you like the video, give us a big thumbs up. Any questions, comments, feedback on what we did today, the knots that we tied, or anything like that, leave it in the comments section below. Until next time, I'm Jake.
I'm Chris.
This is Dude Ranch DIY. Thanks so much for watching.